Welcome back. For everyone who follows us for chilling stories and true crime mysteries, today is a bit different.
It is. Today isn't about deep analysis. Not really. It's about recounting. We're going to tell 3 separate, deeply unsettling stories that all happened during the winter.
Yeah, the goal here is to just tell these stories. We want to get into the suspense, the thrill of them, but also keep in mind how serious and frankly dangerous these events were.
And there's a unique psychological element to that winter setting.
Yeah.
You know, the cold, the isolation, it just amplifies everything. Fear, vulnerability, all of it.
Absolutely. Let's start with the first one. It happened in Colorado at this family cabin.
A place they'd had for about 40 years.
Right. It's surrounded by these huge woods, only a few other houses nearby, and one of them was pretty much always empty. This took place maybe 15 years ago, right in the middle of a huge blizzard.
So prime conditions for isolation.
Exactly. The narrator, he was 8 at the time, and his brother Josh was 11. They were playing this game outside.
Steal the Jewel, I think it was called.
That's the one. The Jewel was just a giant snowball. And they had these snow forts. And Josh, the older brother, decides to set up his base over on the neighbor's property.
The one that was supposed to be vacant?
The vacant one. Sure. So the narrator is waiting in his fort for Josh's signal, a whistle, to start the game.
And he's waiting.
And waiting. He says about 10 minutes go by, which, for a kid feels like an eternity. He's getting scared of the woods, so instead of cutting through them, he starts trudging down the road through all the unplowed snow to try and sneak up on Josh's fort.
So he's out in the open.
Completely. And when he gets to the fort, Josh isn't there.
Just gone.
And then the front door of that supposedly empty house opens. An older woman steps out, and she calls to him, "Excuse me, are you looking for your brother?"
Woof. That's an immediate drop in your stomach right there.
He said her smile was the first thing that set him off. Just a very creepy smile. It made his heart drop.
No warmth to it.
None. And as he's looking, he sees a figure in an upstairs window looking down. Just part of a face, half covered by a black beanie and the window frame. For a second, he thinks it might be Josh.
But it wasn't.
No. And then he sees the footprints. Right by the front door, he sees footprints in the snow that are doubled over.
Meaning someone walked up to the door.
And then immediately turned around and sprinted away back toward the woods. It was Josh's tracks. He approached the door and then fled in terror.
So he already knew.
He knew. And then the woman waves the narrator inside, come on in, get out of the cold. That's when the narrator just instinctively screams, "Chill, Josh!"
And gets no response.
No response.
Yeah.
The woman's creepy smile just vanishes. It's gone. And in that exact same moment, they hear heavy footsteps inside the house running down the stairs.
That's the trigger. The moment they realize the lure isn't working.
He didn't even think, he just turned and ran.
And the really chilling part is what happened when he got home.
Josh was already there. He'd run home earlier because the exact same thing happened to him. He went up to the door, and these strangers told him to come inside.
Unbelievable.
Their father, he grabbed a gun, went over to investigate. The front door was locked tight. No one answered. They called the owners, who were hours away, and they confirmed absolutely no one was supposed to be in that house.
So the police came.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
And they found the back door was unlocked.
Yeah.
But inside, nothing. The house was empty, not a single trace of anyone having been there.
It's just terrifying. Let's shift gears now to our second story.
Okay, this one we're calling the Glade Trail Trap. It's a completely different kind of setting. We're at a major ski mountain in Vermont just a few winters ago.
So a much more public space, not isolated in the same way.
Right. The narrator is 21, and he's there with 3 of his friends, Jaden, Ryland, and Amir. And here's a key detail. Amir and Ryland had their own skis, really expensive ones. The narrator and Jaden were just using rentals.
So there's a valuable asset right there on the table.
Exactly. It's near closing time, the slopes are emptying out, and 2 girls approach the group, Taylor and Devin. The narrator is very clear. He says they were objectively gorgeous and just really disarming.
The classic honeypot setup.
It seems like it. They pull out this unmarked bottle of liquor and sort of taunt the guys into drinking, making it a challenge. Ryland, one of the guys with the expensive skis, starts drinking way too much, way too fast.
The red flags start popping up.
Immediately. The narrator said he was suspicious from the start, so he only pretended to drink. And that's when he noticed the most important thing.
What's that?
Neither Taylor nor Devin drank a single drop.
Of course not. They're in control.
So the girls proposed they do this one last run on some obscure trail called Devil's Forest. But to get to it, they have to take their skis off and walk uphill.
Which makes no sense for a ski trail. It's a huge red flag.
Jaden, the most rational one of the group, points that out. And when he refuses to take a second swig from the bottle, the narrator says he saw Devon's smile just disappear. For a split second, it became an angry scowl.
The mask slipped. They were on a timeline.
So they go.
You have to wonder, was it just about the skis? The narrator himself said it felt like overkill, a fast-acting drug, a van, 4 guys for backup, for 2 pairs of skis. Or was that just part of something much, much worse?
Which brings us to our third and honestly most bizarre story.
This one is just uncanny.
It really is. The setting is a wide frozen lake. It's after midnight, snowing heavily. The narrator and his 2 friends, Kyle and Ricky, have this weird ritual where they walk out onto the ice in the snow.
And because of the snow, the darkness isn't total. The light reflects off the ice and snow, creating this kind of muted, surreal glow.
So they're about 100 feet out onto the ice when they see something. A large, dark shape moving on the far side of the lake near the trees.
Their first thought is a bear, a rational fear.
Right. But then the figure moves in a way that's too upright, too human. It straightens up completely, and they see what it is. It's a person wearing a full bear suit.
A bear suit.
Full bear suit. And they're dragging something behind them with the rope.
I mean, why? Why the suit? It's more conspicuous than a mask, not less.
It's so strange. The man in this suit gets to a spot on the ice, unzips the suit, and steps out of it. And then he picks up a rock and just starts slamming it into the ice over and over again.
Trying to break through.
Trying to break through, yeah. He's trying to dispose of what he was dragging. The narrator said it was a small black bag, like a smaller-sized garbage bag.
So the friends are just watching this happen.
In total silence, they decide to retreat, very quietly. But as they're backing away, the man stops what he's doing, looks across the lake right at them, and just yells, "Hey!"
And they panic.
Full panic mode. They sprinted all the way back to their car and got out of there.
The speculation must have been insane. Ricky thought maybe it was a body, but the bag seemed too small. Just illegal dumping seems so ridiculous with all that effort.
It makes no sense. But here's the final piece. This is the part that connects it all.
Here's more.
Yeah. Sometime later, the narrator saw an old missing persons report on TV. It was for a child who had disappeared from that area.
And the timeline.
The timeline of the disappearance matched up very, very closely to the night they were on that lake.
Oh my God.
The narrator says after seeing that, they plan to report what they saw to the police. So we've gone through these 3 stories. We have this clear thread of dangerous people using these isolated, cold winter environments to their advantage. The cold itself is almost a weapon, a secondary threat.
It is. And these stories show that sometimes the biggest horror isn't some unknown monster in the woods. It's the really chilling, inexplicable things that other people do. The deception and the malice that's hiding right there in plain sight.
Thank you for sharing this recount with us today. It leaves you with a lot to think about.
It really does. And maybe a final thought for you to consider is this. In a situation that makes no sense, like the man in the bear suit, is that absurdity a sign of insanity? Or is it actually a highly calculated, tactical kind of deception, designed to make any witness question what they saw and undermine any investigation from the start?
A truly chilling thought.
If you found these stories as compelling as we did, we encourage you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Docs, for more true stories like these.
Thank you for joining us. Goodbye, and stay vigilant.